pregnant. The most miserable pregnancy ever. Ever. Like, what the fuck? Being positive for like one moment takes a lot of work. The baby is very active, so, you know, I know he's okay. But my God, none of my other children had to go through anything like this. Like, the intentional scaring me and waking me up with a fucking mouse inside of this tiny ass tent, like, that's terrifying for me. And those are like the very, very mild forms of torture that they've done. As I said before, sleep deprivation, food deprivation, assault. And I think too, it's the mind fuckery of when you start to get comfortable no matter what circumstances you're in. Meaning you can make it work, you can go to a hotel and be okay, you can go to an Airbnb and be okay, you can even spend one night in a tent and be okay, right? But for 39 weeks, 38 weeks, and it's more than that, we're going into month 12, February 13th, it'll be a full year since I've had a decent night's sleep in a bed, same for Xavier. And I never really thought, you know, that this was possible. I know that the laws are that you can't leave people outside throughout the winter. I know that taxpayers pay money for programs. I've called every single one. So it just keeps on perplexing me. You know, how is this legal? How is this continuing? I've not had a single pedicure or manicure this entire pregnancy, not even one. But yeah, you know, it's like the Xavier rubbing my feet, rubbing my back, literally treating me like a queen of the world, doing any and everything for me. I don't even ask. It's like I think something, I don't even have a full thought, and boom, he's there. Like if I think, God, I wish that he was holding me. It's cold. Before I even blink, he's like astro projected himself across the room onto my back and like is holding me. And I feel like I have like an insulated heater. And that's the type of concierge love service that I get from my husband. And then they do this weird shit where they change everything up with him and do these internet campaigns, smear campaigns, and all of this shit that I've already far graduated from. Like that was so 2019, you know, let's move on. And then like with the mouse, like it doesn't even feel real. It feels like some sort of virtual like asshole world. It's like how many assholes can we find who are creative at making things hurt for a pregnant woman? Like that's truly what it feels like. Like they put me in these positions where it's like I literally lose feeling of my limbs. They know I hate the cold, so they'll like throw all of this stuff in my newsfeed about cryotherapy in ice baths. Bro, especially in someone who is high risk for blood clots, you don't put them in an ice bath. What the fuck? It's insanity. It makes no sense. And then like everything I talk about goes in the newsfeed. If I talk about drug rep sales, they put a fucking Pfizer ad. It's insane. Or they put a reel from someone who's a Pfizer sales rep, like dogging on Pfizer. But then they say stuff like, oh, you have to be positive, right? So for me, I'm not sitting here toxically positive like, oh, this is awesome. I love this. What a great experience. That is phony as fuck. For me, being positive is not giving up on the job search, sending 40 to 100 job applications and resumes out every day, continuing on social media, documenting, even though sometimes it feels like the things that are happening are so unjust and so unlawful that if the police cared, they would already be here, you know, but not giving up on that. Circulating content that's anything other than me crying, you know, still being creative, still listening to audiobooks or reading or crocheting or, you know, doing whatever I can, creating content and coming up with campaigns. You can't, it's not easy to do that, you know, so that's being positive.